Welcome to Better Marriage Daily, where we show you how to have little tips to have a better marriage daily by loving each other in spite of each other. I'm Sean.
And I'm V.
Yes, indeed. What we talking about today, baby?
We're talking about our last few days, I think. You noticed I paused on that. Yeah, our last few days.
Yeah, okay.
Been,
let's do that.
Been quite interesting.
It's been very interesting. Very.
Yes.
Very.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one over here has gone through some traumatic things. You know,
a few things.
Yeah, a few things. Right.
Been through a few things.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And
got this all in the way.
I believe it started Wednesday.
Wednesday was definitely the culminating point.
Yeah. You know, you left here Wednesday. That was when you went to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. You left here Wednesday. Seemed like you were feeling, okay when you left home, but you didn't come back that way.
I did not.
You did not come back that way.
I did not.
So, share with our people what happened. What transpired.
You gonna make me share?
Oh, I'm gonna make you share because it's your story. I'll jump in there, but it's your story. It's Sean's story.
So what had happened? Look, what had happened was, do I tell them like the succession of events, like how it got to where we got to? Okay, so I was on that Manjaro, right?
Yeah.
But you said tell them what happened.
So
I was on that Manjaro. Took the Manjaro. Had been on it for a little over a year and some change. I'd given myself a year to be on it, and like we told y'all before, the way we live our lives, we're on that whole God and Jesus thing. We're on that whole God and Jesus thing, and so I had heard clearly that I should stop taking it. And what had happened was I'd gone to the urologist to make sure that my prostate was okay so that I could add testosterone to it. Because as you get older, testosterone starts to go down. Production starts to go down.
And you're in your what?
I'm in my 50s.
Yes.
Mid 50s. Literally double nickel this year.
Yeah. At this age.
Yeah, so it starts to go down.
You need to do that.
And so I didn't have any other underlying issues, any other issues to need testosterone except for the fact that it would kick my weight loss up. And so I went and checked and it was like all cool. And so I started taking it and took it for about a month maybe. And then a month ago, I heard that I should stop. And I waited 2 weeks to stop.
You felt like you heard God tell you to stop.
I felt like I heard God tell me to stop. And I didn't do it then. I waited. And 2 weeks later, I stopped. And so that was 2 weeks ago. So I heard 2 weeks ago clearly to stop. And then I didn't. But then I did stop. I heard a month ago that I should stop, but I didn't stop until 2 weeks ago. And then 2 weeks ago, after I stopped, everything, like if you've ever been on the Manjaro, then you don't eat as much and your bowels are kind of funny in the way they respond to, your eating. Nothing or whatever you eat, it can cause it to run out of you. At any rate, I was back to normal, kind of quote, normal. And then last Monday and Tuesday, I was like, oh, look, normal. No, we told y'all we were going to be really transparent. You asked. We wasn't supposed to go here, but you asked. So this is where we're supposed to go because you asked. So now everything is regular, right? And then on Wednesday, we had a Grammy event in New Orleans. So on the way to the event, I'm having to stop like 3-4 times. I'm like, man, what's going on? It's trying to leave me at both ends. I'm like, what's going on? And then I go to the event, and then at some point, there's nothing it's number nothing. It's go. You get there and then nothing. And so then I come back home, same thing, all the way back home. Had to stop like 3 times on the way home. It's a 3-hour drive. So I stopped like 4 times. Usually I don't have to stop at all.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, usually I don't have to stop at all. So then I get home and then you see me. Well, you don't see me. You just
I know you're up and down.
Well, no. When I get home, you're thinking, I can go to sleep.
Yeah, I can go to sleep. Yeah,
and
I
then
can
what? And then
really
what
fall into sleep, and then then he he's up and down. You know, he goes try to go to sleep. He goes to sleep, and then I'll feel him get out of the bed because I am a very, very light sleeper. So even on our comfortable, firm mattress, I know that you're getting up.
On our Tempur-Pedic mattress, they have
Yes.
not paid for this
Yes.
advertising, but we will
Yes.
definitely
Yes.
open and entertain.
I could feel him getting up every
You
time.
talk straight through that. I'm trying to get Tempur-Pedic. You talk straight through that. So explain to the people why me getting home was important. Because when I'm gone,
Because when you are gone, I don't rest well when you're gone. I'm very sensitive anyway when you're here, but when you're gone, I'm hypersensitive. I hear everything, every little thing. I'm just not at peace, I guess, when you're gone. So you came home, and I was like, oh, good, thank God he's here, because you were traveling,
locally,
rather late,
for the most part.
locally, but rather late, and I just wanted to be sure that you made it home safely, and then I would be able to go to sleep.
Mhm.
So I kind of, I had a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
And then you start, you know, getting up.
And getting up.
And getting up. And
And
he
getting up.
go back to bed, and he'd lay there maybe 20 minutes, and then he'd get up. And I'm like, and then he goes, when he's in the restroom, I'm like, I'm hearing, I'm like, oh my goodness, he's struggling. Like, oh my God. And I knew that. I didn't, we didn't really have a conversation about it, but I knew, I was like, something is wrong, and tomorrow morning we're going to deal with it. It doesn't matter what he says, because, ladies, guys, it will push back on going to the doctor, going to the ER, anything like that. So I was like, nope, we're going in the morning. I'm not even going to mention it right now. But
Like for me, I realized that I was going to have to go to the ER, and I knew exactly what was going to have to happen.
Right.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I knew exactly what was going to have to happen.
Yeah.
And so long and
And
short,
we didn't sleep.
so we didn't get any sleep. So then I go to the ER, and I've got a whole liter and some change of liquid in my bladder.
Bladder is full.
Bladder is
That he
full.
can't expel.
Yeah, and we're giving
on its
y'all all these
own.
details because it's important.
Yeah.
Because you got to see, because think about it. The day was going great.
Mm-hmm.
The day was going great. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it wasn't.
Things are not.
It wasn't. And it wasn't in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
So then I go, and I go to the ER, and so I find out from the urologist that, guys, if you ever have an inflamed prostate and your bladder is full because it's squeezed it out and you can't expel the number one, then you need to ask for the curved catheter. I forgot the name of it, beady weedy something, but something like that. But anyway, you just tell me I need the curved one, because
Right.
these people knew that they checked it.
They checked his prostate. Mm-hmm.
So my wife's sitting there, I'm getting violated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting violated.
Checked his prostate.
And they
knew
checked
that
it.
it was
They knew it was enlarged, and they still
enlarged.
used the straight one.
Yes.
So while I'm sitting there, and they take, a liter and some change comes out, and I'm still there waiting for them to do all their other tests and this, that, and the other. And I at some point I go, hey, this don't look right.
Why is there blood?
Why is there a blood clot right here? And why is there blood? Why is that stuff kind of turning red? They're like, oh, well, it might have been some scarring in there from, okay. And then they rinsed it out. Told me I had to go see the urologist before they could take it out. And so from that point on, I'm looking, and it's bright red.
Yeah.
So I'm not a doctor, but I know
something is
that
not
whenever
right.
it's bright red, that's fresh blood,
Mm-hmm.
and something is bleeding, and that's not good. So
yes. And he addressed it.
Yeah, I addressed it. Yeah, for sure.
He did address it before we left, and they sent him home like that and told him to go and see his, urologist, make an appointment, see his urologist.
Mm-hmm.
And so we came home.
We came home, and so I knew the next day it was coming out. No, I went a whole day. I went all Thursday.
You went
Yeah.
that
So that
night.
was Thursday morning. So I didn't get out of the ER until Thursday after evening.
Evening, yes.
Thursday evening. And so I knew that next morning I was visualizing, praying, and speaking it.
Mhm.
I was like, somebody gonna take this out of me tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I went, we went to the urologist, got there, told her what was going on. She's like, yeah, it's not supposed to be. That looks like a bag of blood.
And mentioned too that there were not any appointments available. But once the nurse
Yes.
saw
Okay.
you,
Okay. So that's the other thing. I said, because I saw this lady. And I was in the airport in West Palm Beach. And this little old lady just walked up and cut the entire line. She walked up there. She threw her little thing on things. Hey, here you go. She said, look, I'm parked bad, really bad right there out in front. It's the airport. I'm parked really bad out in the front right there. If you could just take care of this, it won't take long. If you could just take care of this right quick, I'll be out because I got to get my car. Like, ma'am, you can't. She's not. If you just, it won't take money. If you just take it right, And the girl she was perplexed.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? And her supervisor said, she said, follow your process. She says, ma'am, I can't. Yeah, but if you just take care of it, I'm right there. And I'm parked really bad. It's just really crazy out there. And I just parked. If you just take care of this right quick. And they took care of it. So I took her spirit along with me on Yes Steady. I said, I got the spirit of that little old lady right there. You know what I'm saying? I
Friday
said,
morning.
somebody
Mhm.
will be taking this out of me today. I don't know who it's going to be, but somebody who's
Mhm.
qualified is going to be taking this out of me. So went to our doctor. He's like, you got to see the urologist because I don't want to
Yeah.
mess you up. Because if you take it out
Mhm.
and you had the same problem, you'll be back in there and not
Back in the ER.
back in
He
the
didn't
ER.
want to. He did not want to be responsible.
Yeah.
And I get that.
Yep. So I go to the urologist and they asked me, I gave my birthday, and there's something that just happened in the back. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And everybody was stressed out. And this woman who was right before me who was pitching a fit. You will see me today. Rah, rah, rah. And so I walk up right behind him. Hey, how you doing today? I'm good. It's crazy. Okay, cool. My doctor sent me here because I have a catheter in me. There's a lot of blood and it needs to come out today. We don't really have a problem. I understand that. But I need somebody to see me. Well, what's your date of birth? Da-da-da. Went to the back. About 15 minutes passed. It goes back and forth there, saying, then this says, well, we can get you an appointment.
You're not an established
patient. I said,
patient.
actually, I am.
Mhm.
I said, she said, well, let me get somebody to come. So they came and the lady came from the back. She says, well, you're not an established patient. I said, actually, I am. She says, what's your date of birth? And I gave it to her again. She says, oh, there you are. I said, okay.
There are three.
Pro tip.
3 people with your name.
Don't get upset.
Mm-mm.
Stay calm. Stay in prayer. You can be angry and not sin. I never got angry though.
Mhm.
I just stayed calm and stayed smiling and understanding that it's crazy. And she says, okay, well, hold on. Well, let me see. And I name dropped. I said, yes, last time I came, I saw Amanda. Yep. And the doc said I can get it taken out, but y'all got to take it out because it's something y'all got to look at before y'all take it out.
Mhm.
So I don't know what that is, but hey,
Yeah.
I'm here and I'm waiting. And if I got to wait until, I'll be here.
Yes.
And she was like, okay, well, let me see. Okay, Mr. Ardoin, we'll see you. We'll see you right now. And
they did.
So we go in there, see me, and she's like, that's not supposed to look like that. She says, she said,
eyes.
yep.
Her
And then
eyes were like,
after she pulled it out, she says, and she was kind of pissed. She was like, they used the straight one. They're supposed to use the curved one. If this ever happens again, you tell them you need the curved one.
Yeah. She gave us the name of it and everything.
I don't want
she was upset.
She was upset.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ever have to do that again. But if it does happen, if I'm incapacitated, she gonna know to tell them.
They sure will. I sure will.
But we gonna believe that ain't never gonna happen again. So anyway, we go through all of that, right? So we go through all of that. I'm free, because I have to go. I have to go in my mind. I had promised my sister because my mom has Alzheimer's, and so my sister is the primary caregiver of my mom. And she had asked my brother and I to give her a day, a month, one Saturday a month, right? Now here's the thing: we're both musicians, so our Saturdays are interesting. But
Mhm.
we have some time to give.
Mhm.
We have to make a sacrifice, but she's making the biggest sacrifice because she's
Exactly.
got mom 24/7. And so my next 4 or 5 weekends, as a matter of fact, were gonna be just shot and tied up for real, where I couldn't even go and give some breaks. So I said, you know what? I'm coming. I told I was coming. And after I got the catheter taken out, midnight, well, 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday, I wake up and my knee is swollen. Like you can't even see my kneecap because a blood pressure med that the doc was trying out on me gave me gout and it blew up in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
So then Saturday morning, I wake up and I'm like, it's worse Saturday morning. I can't even really bend it, can't really put pressure on it. But I looked at my wife. I said, hey, we got to go to Houston. I got to go to Houston, but I need you to come with me because I don't know. I mean, I need you. I want you to come with me. Then
Mhm.
we went through all that back and
Yeah.
forth,
Yeah.
and so anyway, she came with me.
Mhm.
So we go over there, take care of mom. So the reason that she want to talk about this is we said all of that
Yeah.
because you don't know when you are going to have to take care of your spouse. That in sickness and health thing is very
It
real.
is real. It is real.
So how did you feel seeing me go through all of that?
I felt helpless. Um, in my mind, like, because we talked about, first of all, we talked about what it could have been, especially with the bladder part, what
Uh-huh.
you thought it was and everything. So then once we get to the
Oh,
emergency
the
room,
testosterone made
yes,
my prostate
yes,
swell up.
that we figured that out later.
Yeah.
But we're trying to figure it out because at first you thought it was something else
Yeah, I
and
thought it was
and
something.
and all that.
It
But
wasn't none of that.
it wasn't any of that. But to see what was going on, and I'm already hot. I mean, you know how I am about you. I'm hot because they are sending you home with blood. You are bleeding with a catheter, and that was concerning me. So I was already hot, but then I had to be calm because I didn't want you to have to deal with me being angry. So I'm having to manage my mental,
Mhm.
and then I'm
And you did a
thinking
great job.
about, thank you. And then I'm thinking about, okay, this is not the same scenario, but this happened 2 years ago. We were here. So 2 years ago, this had happened. He had to go to the ER, but it was a UTI. When they tested him this time, it did not come back positive for UTI.
Yeah.
But just the fact that they were sending him home with him bleeding and it kept getting redder and redder. And I'm like, okay, today it's Thursday, tomorrow is Friday. And I'm like, okay. So he goes home. And then by the time when he goes home into the night, y'all, I was like, this is horrible. And then I'm thinking about we're at the mercy of these people.
Yep.
That we send ourselves or our loved ones to a hospital and we're at their mercy. And some know what they're saying, they know what they're talking about, and some don't. Some know what they're doing when they're putting a catheter in you, some don't. And I'm thinking about all of that. And this guy is a very strong man. He is the one that people come to when they have issues. He's never sick. So when something happens to him, it's hard. Okay. So I'm trying to manage all of that. I'm like, okay, we're going to get up in the morning. Friday is Friday. We cannot, go. We have to go tomorrow. So we're going to get it out. Somebody's going to get it out. And then I'm having to deal with my emotions because I'm in, I was upset. I was very upset to see you in that way and to know that we were helpless because my thing is had we got to the doctor, they wouldn't take it out. So that made me feel helpless and you helpless. And then we go we go to the urologist
Oh
and
no,
then they're saying that they can't see you because the doctor has appointments and
I
all this stuff. And he
never wavered.
never wavered.
It's coming out.
I'm telling you, he never wavered. But we were at the mercy of these people, these professionals. And it hurt me to see you in that much pain. It just I was very upset. So I was having to hold all of it in because you know what happens when I'm angry and upset, right?
Mhm.
Right. So I'm fighting not to drop tears, because once I drop tears, then I'm fighting mad. And then once I'm fighting mad, then it's hard to control me.
Understanding is 0.
Understanding is 0. And I don't play about my husband. You know what I'm saying? I don't play about him. And it just was just one of those things. And I was just praying. I was like, Lord, please let these people, you know, show us favor with these people. I know that they've had a tough time this morning, because you could tell
Oh, it was rough.
they were having a
In
rough
the urologist's
day
office,
in
it
the
was rough.
urologist's office. They were having a rough morning.
Something went down back there that was not cool.
Something went down. And so we showed up in the middle of that. So God did, they showed my husband and showed us favor, and they were very caring and all of that. So that was cool. Once she was able, and she told you, okay, before I take it out, we're gonna, see what your bladder looks like. And she was giving you all of these
Step by
steps,
step, yeah.
step by step. And I was like, oh my God. And she wasn't even a doctor. She was
a nurse
the
practitioner.
nurse practitioner. She was phenomenal.
I've never met the doctor. I've never seen the doctor there.
Right.
The urologist.
Yep. And that was your second time going. Had
Second
never
time.
seen her.
I've never seen
And this girl, this young woman, she really was caring. She was amazing. So that allowed me to kind of trust what she would do, and what she was saying. So that gave me some kind of peace. And once she, took it out, she went through the steps. She wasn't rough. She didn't, she understood your concerns. She listened, you know what I'm saying? And she did her thing. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
she
because
was really,
people-
really nice.
Like the young guy putting it in there, he might not have known, but then the nurse practitioner who was there might have said, hey man, you need to use this one.
Right.
And because he was good, but he didn't even think about it. And I don't know why he
No,
didn't think about it.
no.
So all I know is that I was in pain.
Yeah,
and,
you were in so much pain, and
and the pain was in the groin and the knee at the same time.
because your knee was starting.
It
It
was
was
starting.
already starting to get swollen and irritated,
Then I
and
got
all
free
those
from
things.
then I got free from the groin, and my knee just went.
Yeah. Were you really free though? You weren't really free.
I was
You were
free.
free?
I mean,
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
kind of uncomfortable
Yeah.
with my knee, but I could still.
But it wasn't. Yeah, you didn't
I could
have the
still
catheter
feel.
in.
I could still feel it.
Yeah, you said you could still feel it even when it was out.
Yeah, man.
I was like, my God.
You still feel it,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's really crazy.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. We told y'all we were gonna be really
Yeah.
transparent,
It was an
and
ordeal.
the transparency here is that again, life can change at the drop of a dime.
And you have to be ready, because you don't know, like for me, he's always like, I've been the one between the two of us. I've had like 4 surgeries since we've been together, and we've been together for 25 years, married 23. And I've been the one to have surgeries. So he's always been taking care of me, and he does an amazing job, but for me to take care of him, and I'm praying, like every time you got out the bed, I'm praying, Lord, please don't let him fall, because if he falls, I was like, don't, I was like, do not get out the bed, do not go to the bathroom unless I'm here, because all I could see, envision, and hear in my head was you calling me, because you for some reason you lost your balance and you fell, and I'm like, who am I gonna call? So I had all of that in my head while I'm caring
thankfully,
for
it's
you.
here, so we have people we could have called.
Yeah, we could have.
Thankfully. And Lil Sean was in town too.
Yeah, Lil Sean was in town too. But, once he left, it was just a scary situation, because I did not know what was going on and what you had to go through. And then the bladder thing was bad enough, and then to have the medication give you gout.
Yeah. And then the nurse practitioner
The
told
blood
us,
pressure medicine, which you need on a daily basis, give you gout.
Well, I'm working on that. So the tip on this is be as healthy as you can be, so that you don't have to be on any kind of meds.
Yes.
But also know what messes with you and causes these adverse effects, so that you can So you cannot even go through what I'm going through. I mean,
Right.
thiazides and I
Yeah.
think it's beta blockers or whatever. I think it's beta something like. But
Mhm.
anyway,
And you knew that.
HCL, yeah, but I
You
didn't.
knew that
When I saw it, I didn't see that until my
because
knee blew
he's
up.
had a few
Yeah.
times where they've given him medication even as an antibiotic or
No,
something.
no. It's the diuretic. The diuretic.
Yeah,
They add diuretic to
right,
it.
right.
Diuretics messed it up.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the HCLs and yeah. So anyway,
Yeah. But this particular time, you didn't do
I had no idea.
your work to
I didn't
look at
do
it.
my due diligence.
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah.
I didn't ask
Lesson
the doctor when we
learned.
were talking. I didn't say, "Hey man, does this give you gout? Is the
Yeah.
gout one of these symptoms?" I didn't say nothing.
You didn't.
So that's my bad. Both of them were my bad because I wanted to add the testosterone to the level to kick it up to weight loss instead of just controlling what I put in my pie hole.
And and I've said before, I was like, you know how I felt about all of it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
did.
So
I
I was
did.
like, okay, I'm gonna just let you do what you do. But
you know, after 50 though, every zero is different. And after 50, it was just it's a lot harder.
It is.
Things don't what you used to be able to do at 49 and 364 don't work.
Mhm.
It don't work like that.
And that's why we have to be careful trying new things because we just don't know how our bodies will deal with
we just don't
things.
Yeah. And like I said, the guys like the nurse practitioner at the ER, he was great. He was great. He was like, "Yeah, man, I'm glad you got off that stuff." And I'm like, yeah. Man, me too. Because I mean, we don't know what that stuff is going to do later on.
Long term.
We don't know. I mean, for some people, for the people who need it, it's going to be great. Yeah. But for those of us who's using it, for the weight loss side, we'll see. We're not doctors. We're not forming any kind of opinion. I'm just telling you my personal experience. I didn't have a bad experience with it at all. But
no, you didn't.
I understood that when I got off of it, that I was going to gain weight, even if I changed my habits. And so I said, well, let me just go on and just change my habits again this time. Because I've lost 100 pounds in 6 months before. So I know how to do it. You just got to control what you eat.
Right.
And then that's been the hardest part because we're a celebratory bunch, me and you.
we love to celebrate.
We celebrate.
We were celebrating on Friday.
But you got to learn. You got to learn how to make them adjustments. And so we made those adjustments. And
but it was scary. I have to say, I didn't say anything to you. I was quiet a lot. And just because I was dealing with my emotions. And I was dealing with, our parents are older now and they're in the latter part of their lives. So I'm dealing with
all kinds of emotions.
All of that.
And my dad
and I had just gone to see my parents to help them because they can no longer do some of the things they used to do.
Yep.
And then I'm thought about your dad, and I'm thinking then we were going and stay with your mom, and I just kept my mouth closed.
Every time I was trying to get up, I saw my dad whenever I'd have to go help him. I was so mad. I was like, we are not here. We are not here. I was hurting all over the place. Because before all that the spasms I was getting before had my core and my back just tight. So then the core and the backside. So when you go to get up, the back is like, no. My knee is like, no. Because whenever you go to pick your leg up, it starts in your knee kind of. And those tendons and muscles were not trying to hear that with all that uric acid, crystalline stuff stuck in the joints and the stuff.
It's amazing to me how fast that knee swole up.
Yeah.
It was like literally within hours.
It happens in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Within hours.
It literally happens in the middle of the night. It won't blow up you in the day. Middle of the night. Bam, boom. So, and I kind of know where she is and all that stuff. So I'm trying to not show the pain, as it is. But then it was so bad that I even said, you know what? I'm hurt.
And he's like,
I was like, and it don't stop.
And it doesn't stop.
It don't ever stop.
So which when you said that, I'm like, I want to do everything but just go. I did good though. I held it in, and I held it down. I did what I had to do.
Yep.
I took care of you because I'm like, I can't even imagine. I know what pain is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dude, do whatever you have to do. If you have to scream, if you have to cry to make you feel better.
And I said, yeah, but crying would make me feel better because it would still be hurting.
Then for me, I would be mad because I am crying. You know what I'm saying? So, it was an ordeal. And then, I agree to go with you on Saturday. We get to, to go and sit with your mom
Yep.
and
And that was cool. I gave her some.
yeah,
I was, when I got in, she
that
kicked
was
into
really
mama
cool.
mode.
She did.
She was ready to help.
She was ready to help.
Vanessa was helping me put one of my shoes. She's, gonna get that other one? Yes, ma'am.
And Sean was like, yes, ma'am.
Yes,
and I
ma'am.
went sit down.
I said,
Let
I
her do
came
it.
here for some mothering.
Ooh, she felt bad, but for her to, have a purpose that you were there and you allowing her to take care of you, she just went into,
Oh yeah.
mode. And I'm telling you what, if she could have in her mind brought a walker in,
Oh yeah. Crutches or a walker.
crutches or walker,
Yeah.
she would have done it because she kept saying, I know that there's a walker.
We got a
have
walker.
we have a
Didn't we
walker."
have one for Dad? And
You
it over.
know.
Yeah, but it's in Lake Charles.
No, it's in Lake Charles. She said, Erica doesn't have crutches. I said, no, she doesn't have none of that. She was trying to work it out.
She was trying to work it out. Yes,
and
indeed.
And that was just beautiful to me. It made me smile, but made me want to cry even more. You know what I'm saying?
That's my little 4'11 3/4.
Yeah, man. So, it was beautiful. And then at one point we're almost emotional because you come there broke up pretty much.
And see, you making so then my sister the same way as my wife. She's like, bro, you could have stayed home because I don't like seeing you broke up like that.
Yeah, we're not used to that.
I don't like seeing you not being you.
Yeah. We say broke up.
Yeah,
she's
like, I don't like seeing you not be you because you're never not you.
And he was not him.
She's like, she don't like seeing that. And so when I got there, I hugged my mom. And when I hugged my mom, I kind of dropped a few tears, right? And then my sister comes and she goes, hey, what's wrong with you? I said, well, I had a little thing. They took it out, but then, then the blood pressure medication me out. And I wasn't. And I said, and I wasn't going to disappoint you.
Okay. Oh, man. Broke us all down.
I didn't want her because she's been getting all kinds of disappointments left and right. Y'all look up if caregivers. If you're part of a 2 or 3 sibling family, and one of your parents gets Alzheimer's or gets any kind of situation where they can't take care of themselves, but especially like Alzheimer's and dementia, because they can pretty much take care of themselves. They look normal, they act normal most of the time, but they're not. And so you end up having to take care of basically 2 children. Right. They're fully aware, and sometimes they're fully lucid, but then sometimes they're not.
They're not.
So that's a big thing, especially whenever you have a young child. So it's a lot. And she had been through a lot of disappointment recently. And I was like, I'm not going to be the source of disappointment for you again. Yeah. And I had to be here.
And we had made up our minds. We were going to support her no matter what. I'd already told him, hey, if you have that catheter in
that part,
the day you're supposed to go, I will go for you.
Yep. She said that.
I said that. I said, do not call. I told him, I said, do not call and tell her any of this stuff.
She don't need to be worried about you.
She doesn't need to be worried about you. I told him that Thursday. I said, she does not need to be worried about you at all. And in my mind, I was like, God forbid something really crazy happened. Well, I don't want her to be pissed off that we didn't tell her. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know. But I didn't until we kept it.
It wasn't no emergency situation.
It wasn't no emergency situation, but we just did not want to give her any kind of disappointment. This weekend.
And so I also got to, because if y'all been watching us, right, y'all know that my wife, she's working on the way she talks to me and responds to me.
Yes, I am.
And I want to give her props right here on the International World Wide Web.
Come on now.
Yes, indeed. Props, girl, props.
Hey.
She just told you how she was stressed out and worried about me.
Ooh, I was stressed out.
And usually when she's stressed out and worried about me, her response to me is very short and angry sounding. It sounds,
in actuality, I'm really going through some emotional stuff, and I'm just
But she did none of that. She did it. Look, she did it all biblical like. She was quick to listen and slow to speak.
Okay, look, okay, V.
Yeah, girl. I was like, okay, and then look, and me in the midst of all of my pain. I was pretty good. I only had like a half an incident, a half an incident.
Look, And I did not take it personal because I'm like,
You did. You was
man.
mad. You was hot. We was low key beefing.
we were
low key beefing
for a second.
Low key beefing. You know,
low key beefing.
But
yeah.
I mean, but I understand.
Yeah,
You want to share
yeah.
it? I think we should share it with them because it's funny.
Yeah.
Can we share it?
Yeah. Not all of it though.
What you mean not all of it? You don't do a good job.
Yeah, you can. I
so
mean,
what happened? What happened was
I was just caught up.
So she had told me that she would go in my stead if I couldn't go, but I could go because I'd taken out the cath or whatever. And so then to wake up on Saturday morning thinking that you had the day to go and do what you hadn't been able to do, which is work out
and do nothing.
Because since she got into her workout habit, working out is her stress relief. Working out keeps her limber, keeps her whatever. And she had been the last 3 days with me not being able to go do what she needed to go do. So in her mind, she was like, okay, I'm going to take my time. He going to leave. I'm going to go work out, this, that, and the other. And so I go, hey, I can't really walk. And I think I need you to come with me. And then she goes, and I said, what? I shouldn't have said what, but I did.
You shouldn't have.
I said, what?
I think you were baiting me.
No, I wasn't. I really want to know what.
Low key, you were baiting me.
I wasn't baiting you. I promise you I wasn't baiting. And see, another pro tip. In your relationship, you need to let your partner know when your filter is low. Because I have a filter.
Yeah.
Right? Mine is really, really big and thick. Pause.
Like the kids say.
Yeah. No diddy. My filter is a great filter. It filters through a lot of stuff and it keeps a lot of peace.
It does.
Her filter is one of those new style generators, those disposable ones. Like
you say disposable.
She got one of them. See, I got that set filter where you just rinse it and repeat. She got them ones where if you didn't use it's throwaway. It's disposable.
It is.
And so I said, well, what? And she says, well, I mean, I wanted to go work out.
No, I said my body is hurting and I wanted to go work out.
You said, I wanted to go work out.
And I didn't say my body was hurting?
Listen to the order.
Go ahead.
I wanted to go work out and then do so-and-so because I got some stuff to do. And I ain't work out in like 3 days. My body hurts, right? And so I looked and my filter was still there. But it was pretty dirty because I let this jump out my mouth. I said, it looks like you and I have different priorities. Okay, no problem. Now, she had to call on a fresh filter, but there was so much air going through that filter that some still got out of it. So no, I'm gonna go. And then she goes in the bathroom. And when you go in the bathroom, what are you thinking? I can't believe it.
No.
What are you thinking?
I was like, man, I think I'm hurt. So I was talking to myself, looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, I think I'm hurt by that, by what he said. Like that was really hurtful to me. And so I'm in there, getting myself together and, brushing my teeth, all that stuff. So working through all of my mental things.
I don't know this is going on.
Yeah, he doesn't know this is going on.
So then now I've worked it out because I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom at the drop of a dime. So I don't need her to drive. It's my left leg that's blowed up, not my right. And she's not going to know that I need to go right now. So I can drive. I said, listen, don't worry about that. I just need you to go get me some cherry juice. And then I had said, and it depends.
I was like,
she like, what? I said, it depends. Just in case. Me and Erica talked about it, that way I just in case I can just, I'll be okay. Cause, I didn't want no trouble. I was like, look, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to go and take care of my mama and give my sister a break.
Wow.
Because at this point, we hadn't clarified all that other stuff.
Because he didn't know what I was thinking in there because
she didn't know. So then, but that's what I'm thinking on the other side of the door. Because whenever I tell you, I need you to help me to go take care of my mama and give my sister a break, you say you wanted to go work out. So in real time, that looks like you prioritize working out.
True.
Over family.
True. Wasn't
specifically my side of the family.
I can see how you
because I'm thinking
you felt that.
If it was your mama, I wouldn't even mention the gym. Right? But I didn't even say all that. I just said, oh. Looks like our priorities are different. Okay, cool. And so, but she heard everything I
I
said, but I
heard
said it.
everything you said.
And then she went to the bathroom and she comes out. She brushed her teeth. She said, you know,
I'm not doing none of that. I said I'm gonna go. I said, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. I'm going to go because I said I woke up this morning. When I woke up, I was like, oh God, it's a new day. Thank you. So I'm gonna go work this soreness and this aches on my body, and then I'll come back and chill. But I already knew that because of what happened, what transpired, I wasn't going to do any of that
if you
because
stayed home.
if I stayed home, because
but-
I'm no longer in the mood. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just gonna stay home and do this all day. And you know what?
But tell them the better marriage daily part, because you didn't say all that when you opened the door.
Right.
You communicated.
Yeah, that I was gonna go.
No.
What the-
Yes, you communicated you were gonna go, but before that, you said, you know,
Oh, that about it being hurtful.
yeah.
I said, that was hurtful. What you said was hurtful. And so
And in
that's
her mind,
different.
she didn't hear what I said.
No.
She heard what she heard.
Yeah.
You said that.
I said because I said something about I said I support you. Remember?
Something like that.
Something
but
like that. I said I support you.
I didn't say what you're saying. What I said was we have different priorities.
Yeah.
As in, the first thing you told me was a gym. I got nothing up. I don't know what your head is. I don't know where your head. All I heard was you want to go work out. Get there. How you gonna get there?
I get it.
And I didn't even charge her for it. I was like, because she had been taking care of it. Okay, cool. I'll make it happen. I ain't tripping. But she came out and she articulated.
I had to figure out how I felt.
That was hurtful. I was really hurt. And now she crying. So I know she mad.
I was outdone.
And I said, no, you can stay because I don't need you over there. I don't need to drive 2 hours to Houston, 2 hours to change to Houston with you over there.
Which was 3.
It ended up being 3 because traffic was crazy because it was flooding and stuff. So I said, I don't need you to drive and then be sitting in that house, Mom, and then you over there, beefing with me because you mad.
Oh, there was gonna be no beef.
Yeah, we was low key beefing.
No, we weren't.
You were low key beefing.
No, I was done.
You were over there.
When I decided that I was gonna go with you, the beefing was I was quiet.
You didn't say nothing to me. You was beefing.
No, I was quiet.
She was low key beefing, y'all. You let her tell you what's wrong. She was low key beefing. Low key beefing.
No. Before we left home, we were beefing.
While we was driving and when we got there, we was low key. Low key beefing is not real beefing.
I know that, and people, when we say low key beefing, we're not beefing. We're just dealing with our
she
emotions.
Being silent,
because
dealing with emotions.
Yeah, I was dealing with my emotions, and I knew, I knew a lot of things. I knew that the best thing that I could do
was be quiet.
No, the best thing that I could do is what I was doing. I was going with you. Yeah, it was funny. But I was going with you because I didn't know what kind of anything could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and then you didn't want that to be the last thing we talked about.
No, anything could have happened.
You could have come, and yeah, for sure.
So we didn't know because then we didn't know. They thought you would wind up going back to the ER.
Huh?
They thought, the doctors thought that you were going to wind up going back to the ER as well.
I told them I wasn't going.
Yeah,
I said I'm gonna be fine. I know about it.
So the best thing that I could have done, I was like, you know what?
So to help you have a better marriage daily, she processed, whoever's the slow processor, she processed in her head that she was hurt so that we could talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I explained to her, listen, first of all, I didn't holler at you. I didn't say nothing crazy. I just said, we have two different perspectives. We have two different priority lists. Something like our priorities.
Something like that. Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I said, I was very succinct when I said it because I'm specifically talking about what you said versus what I asked for, and I said, so listen, I could apologize for it, but from what you said, that's all I had to work on. I'm sorry you felt that way, you feel that way or whatever, but when you tell me you'd rather go work out than come help me with my mom and my sister, what I'm supposed to think? It didn't stop the fact that she was hurt. But after we talked it through, she goes, okay, maybe I could have kept that.
Mm-hmm.
And said, if you'd have kept it, that would have been one less, the tense moment that we could have had.
Because it was a whole bunch of tense moments.
It was a whole bunch of tense moments.
It's been a whole bunch of tense moments.
I'm like, bro, what?
So then I chalked it up to being just, so I didn't realize until that morning that I was stressed the heck out.
I knew you were.
I know what I'm saying. I didn't realize
I
for
know, but
myself
I knew you were. That's
that I
why.
was stressed
That's
out.
why I paused and said, because I don't just let stuff go when I ain't got no filter.
Yeah.
When I got a filter, I just walk away, and I don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she doesn't realize it until she plays back
Yeah.
what happened. That something was wrong.
Oh, I was stressed out. I was
So I knew
stressed,
she
and
was
my
stressed
body
out.
was responding to all of that as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so to have a better marriage daily, remember to communicate.
Communicate.
Communicate. And this episode was about what happens when everything goes crazy at the drop of a dime.
Yep.
And you become your partner's caregiver.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Do you do it with a good heart?
Yeah. Yes.
Or do you? No, I know you do.
Okay.
I'm asking them.
Okay.
You have proven yourself to me, G. Do you do it with a good heart, or do you do it grudgingly? And if you do it grudgingly, why? Think about those things. Just in sickness and in health.
Yeah.
Richer and poorer, better, worse. It's every day. And since we're always trying to outlove each other every day, that was an opportunity. And since we're doing this podcast, trust and believe, everything that we talk about, we get tested on.
Yes, we do.
We get tested.
Get tested on. We've gotten tested on.
I believe all of it was the test.
Oh,
I believe this whole thing was just a test because we've been helping people.
Mm-hmm.
The enemy talking about, we're going to see. Watch. Let's see.
Let's see.
But anyway, y'all, until next time, y'all keep on loving each other in spite of each other. You know what I'm saying? Keep on having a better marriage daily. For those of y'all who are divorced, thinking about doing it again, hey, I'm sure you got a million stories like we just told that didn't turn out as good as ours did. And that might be the reason, one of those stories might be the reason you got a divorce. Look, whenever you go through this again, it will be better because you know how to be better. You know not to repeat what you've done before. Listen, if you're single, if you're engaged, wanting to be married, listen, think about the person that you're with and ask yourself a real hard question. Would I marry them today, right now? If the answer is no, check yourself. Because if it's no, there's a reason why. And in here, you know what it is. And you just need to figure those things out. But if it's yes, then, handle your business. And when y'all get together, remember, communication is key. And if you're always trying to outlove each other, you'll never be in a love deficit. Oh, that's right. So good. Because you're going to need to have love overflow. Because your partner will test your overflow.
Yes, indeed.
And try to bring you to a deficit. Bring you into a disposable filter. I'm Sean.
And I'm V.
We'll see y'all next time. We holla.
I got a disposable filter.
Yes, you do. At times.